Hey Trek Pros, Lauren Fletcher here with your latest Work Truck Monthly recap. This month, one word kept surfacing across nearly every conversation we covered. Confidence. Confidence that the vehicle will start, that the technician can solve the problem, that a driver knows what to do when something goes wrong, that your technology is actually helping your team act, not simply handing you another dashboard to stare at. July's biggest stories were not really about one vehicle, fuel, or technology. They were about how fleets earn that confidence through their people, preparation, leadership, and the systems working behind the scenes. But before we go too far, a quick word from our sponsor.
If your business has fleets to fuel, there's really only one way to go: Chevron. That's because Chevron is the source for insights and fuel. When you're ready to go to the source at regi.com.
Now, let's get into it. First, are fleets really in the reliability business? Work Truck reader and retired fleet manager Bob Stanton offered a different way to look at it. Reliability matters, but he argues that fleet is ultimately in the confidence business. Drivers expect the vehicle to start. Departments expect knowledgeable help when the problem happens. Customers expect the job to get done. That confidence is built through maintenance, communication, training, planning, parts, data, and all the work people rarely notice when everything goes right. Reliability is not the entire promise. It is one of the ways fleets earn trust. And that leads directly to another conversation we had this month. Technicians are doing far more than turning wrenches. Today's technicians are investigators, technology specialists, safety professionals, planners, and problem solvers. A diagnostic code may barely offer a clue, while interconnected electrical, mechanical, emissions, telematics, and software systems can create an entire mystery under the hood. The industry talks constantly about recruiting technicians, but hiring is only the beginning. Retention requires training, tools, mentorship, career development, strong leadership, and a workplace where people feel respected enough to ask questions before a small mistake becomes an expensive one. That focus on people also shaped a more personal piece I shared this month about Ed Coach Bobbitt. 12 years after we lost him, I still find myself asking, what would Coach do? His biggest lessons were not really about publishing. They were about building relationships, taking worthwhile risks, creating something people genuinely need, and never forgetting the people behind the business. Technology, platforms, and even the way we tell stories will keep changing. The question that still matters is whether the work actually helps someone do their job better. From leadership, we move into prevention because another major theme was getting ahead of a risk instead of cleaning up afterward. Telematics has moved well beyond dots on a map. Fleets are using connected vehicle data, videos, sensors, and real-time alerts to identify speeding, distraction, hard braking, and close following before those behaviors become collisions. But the technology alone is not the win. The real value comes when fleets pair those insights with consistent coaching, training, driver recognition, and action. One fleet using AI-enabled video telematics across more than 800 vehicles reduced loss payments by $2 million. Another reported a 76% reduction in accidents and claims after addressing distraction and unsafe following behavior. So the lesson's pretty clear. Data does not improve safety by sitting in a dashboard. Someone has to do something with it. Risk prevention also has to extend beyond the roadway. Fleet employees may work alone, carry valuable cargo, make stops in unfamiliar areas, and interact with the public throughout the day. That creates workplace violence risks many traditional fleet safety programs may not fully address. A 5-step left of loss framework starts with leadership support, mapping the fleet's specific risks, putting clear policies in place, and training employees consistently while creating a process for evaluating and responding to threats. The goal is to spend more time identifying and addressing risks before an incident and less time dealing with injuries, liability, recovery, and operational disruption afterward. Of course, not every collision can be prevented, which means drivers also need a simple plan for what happens next. Carrier's Edge recommends 4 steps that are much easier to remember than the 3-mile-long post-collision checklist drivers may receive from an insurance company. Stop, secure, report, document. Drivers should stop and assess the scene, protect the people and area involved, contact the fleet according to company policy, and document the road conditions and vehicles and any other relevant details. Simple is memorable, and memorable matters when adrenaline is doing its very best to erase every instruction your driver has ever received. Finally, we cleared up continued confusion surrounding DOT marijuana rules. Despite federal reclassification discussions and changes involving certain medical marijuana products, DOT covered employees in safety-sensitive positions remain subject to marijuana testing and prohibitions. A state medical marijuana card, physician recommendation, or dispensary receipt does not provide a legitimate medical explanation that changes a positive DOT result into a negative one. Until the required federal guidelines and DOT regulations actually change, fleets and commercial drivers should continue following the rules already in place. Now, let's talk about a few videos you may have missed. In our latest Fleet Legends conversation, Ruth Alson shares more than 30 years of lessons about leadership, mentorship, technology, and building strong fleet teams. Her message is a good one for fleet leaders navigating more tools and more data than ever. Technology provides information, but people still need context, experience, curiosity, and relationships to turn that information into better decisions. We also looked at the rise of mixed energy fleets. For most organizations, the future is not an overnight switch from gasoline and diesel to electric. It's a strategic mix based on routes, duty cycles, infrastructure, utilization, and total cost of ownership. The episode explores how fleets can evaluate where EVs make sense today, where traditional fuels still fit, and why charging strategy needs to start much earlier than many organizations expect. Wayne Parham also got into the cab to experience Detroit Assurance with Active Brake Assist. The video shows how radar and camera technology detects vehicles, pedestrians, and cyclists, provides progressive warnings, and support braking when a collision risk develops. It's one thing to read a list of safety features, it's another to see and feel what the driver experiences when the system activates. And cargo thieves apparently enjoy a long weekend too. Our holiday cargo theft video breaks down why reduced staffing, facility closures, unattended freight, and longer weekends create opportunities for organized theft. Christmas through New Year's records the highest reported activity, while Thanksgiving, Independence Day, Labor Day, and Memorial Day also bring increased risk. Watch this one before your next holiday security meeting, not after the trailer disappears. And a few quick hits before we roll. Ford, BlackRock, Google, and Carhartt have created the Alliance for America's Skilled Trades with plans to build a stronger job pipeline. ServiceUp introduced AI repair agents designed to handle routine maintenance coordination across Class 1 through Class 8 fleets. Schneider Electric updated its ChargePro Level 2 commercial EV charger with integrated management software, remote monitoring, connector options, and configurations up to 80 amps. Rizon added a highly configurable combo service body to its electric medium-duty truck lineup, combining lockable tool storage with a cargo bed and options including cranes, ladder racks, generators, lift gates, and work lighting. And Work Truck has officially added Medium-Duty Truck Upfit Package of the Year to our annual awards. Entries are now open for van, SUV, light-duty truck, and medium-duty truck upfit packages, with the winners set to be recognized at Work Truck Week 2027. That's your monthly recap. If there was one takeaway this month, it's that confidence is not something a fleet can order, install, or download. It's earned through good people, clear processes, smart technology, consistent training, and the preparation nobody notices until the day it really matters. I'm Lauren Fletcher. You can find every story and video mentioned in the links below, and make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and stay tuned, and we'll catch you on the road and here next month.